Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexiats here. It is Monday. We're doing a Monday moment, and we're going to talk about Jakob Poeltl. Jakob Poeltl is in Vienna, Austria, of course, his home country. In fact, Jakob's one of the only NBA players to ever play from Austria. Nobody else has ever been in the NBA that's from that country. So it's kind of a big deal that Jakob Poeltl's in the NBA because honestly, the infrastructure for basketball in the country of Austria is not very good. I don't know if you guys know this, but Jakob is a self-taught basketball player. He didn't really have the best coaches or gyms or anything around Austria. He was just a tall kid who liked the sport, so he tried to learn it on his own. He seriously is self-taught. That is part of the reason why he's such an kind of different player with his body movements and the way that he plays on the court. Now, of course, he's gotten training and tutelage from NBA coaches like Popovich and Nick Nurse and Dwayne Casey and currently Darko Rajakovic. But Jakob is a self-taught basketball player. Well, he wants to help the youth of Austria be able to have access to basketball programs. So he has his Jakob Poeltl basketball camp that he just concluded this past weekend. I think it was last week. And I'm looking at the post that he posted this weekend about it, and it's fantastic. He says basically in Austrian or in German, 120 kids and 20 staff members had a lot of fun at the Jakob Poeltl Camp 2024. We had a cool time and are already looking forward to my next camp. It looks like a great group, really large group. And, I will say this. Last year, when Jakob tried to do his camp, it wasn't very well organized. And he did not get the numbers of campers, or the event didn't go as well as he was disappointed. Let's just put it that way. Well, I know this year he's very, very happy with the outcome of how it went this year. It's very, very cool. In fact, it's kind of interesting to see the kids are all wearing red and white in the picture, and it kind of looks like the Austrian flag just a little bit. It's kind of interesting. And in the comments, you see all kinds of great comments in German from people that were involved saying things like, thank you for the youth work and also for taking the time for your fans. Truly down to earth and also remarkably not annoyed. So this is obviously from somebody who was at the event saying that, Jakob's a down to earth person who isn't just doing this for airs or for whatever. He's doing this because he sincerely wants to teach young Austrians how to play basketball. And that's fantastic. There's more great comments like, thank you for your great commitment and also for the autograph. Thanks again. So you sign autographs for the kids. Why is there also? Stefan says, Junior thought it was outstanding. Many thanks to the entire team. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. 120 campers with 20 staff members. That's a big time operation there, Jakob. Very, very much. Another comment. Thank you. It was a lot of fun and brought a lot of new motivation. So this is great. This is like actual people that were at the event writing in comments on his page for afterwards. Judith says, my two were absolutely thrilled. Thank you very much for the effort and organization. Hope you can find a way to have it here in the Philippines. So somebody wants them to come and have a camp in the Philippines. That's pretty cool. Great job is what Bernhard Nuffsteifer is saying also. This is amazing event, and I wish all the best to the Jakob Poeltl basketball camp in the years to come. And next year's going to be even bigger and better. I can already tell. So Jakob, you're the man. And I'm so glad that things got better organized this year so that you could have go off really successfully without a hitch and really, really enriching these young people's lives. I'm telling you, when people like Scotty Barnes and Jakob Poeltl do basketball camps, it has a lifelong impression on the youth that get to attend them. Scotty Barnes will do his camp in Mississauga in the next month or so, and the same back down in Florida in Palm Beach. He does one there too. And these experiences for young people really do inspire. It's like the teacher who tells you when you're in school, you're a good writer. And then all of a sudden you get the desire to become an author and write books. That kind of stuff can be very powerful. And who knows? A child that was at the Jakob Poeltl basketball camp this weekend could be the next Austrian NBA player. We have no idea. It's kind of cool. All right, let me check in with y'all in the comments. We got some interesting things to talk about today. So let's not waste time. All right, Trevor J is the first in today. The Commissioner of Fun, Trevor J. Commissioner J. Always good to see you in the chat this morning. Good morning, Raptors family. Don't let negative people ruin the 24 hours God gave you today. Just pray for them to have peace in their lives. That's a great, great word of wisdom from Commissioner J. In some ways, look, people may come into your life and they may be disruptive in your life, but you know what? Often it's a reflection of their own problems. And it really doesn't have anything to do with you. Once you decide and figure out that a lot of people being assholes or buttheads is because of their own issues and it isn't anything to do with you, you kind of feel sorry for them after that. So what I would say right now is Trevor's exactly right. Don't let the negative ninnies pull you down. You get 24 hours in this day. Let's make the best of it and enjoy yourself. You can be above it. You know, if somebody's hurting and they're in trouble, well, turn the other cheek and maybe be a humanitarian towards them instead of meeting them with that same kind of negative energy. How about that? Good job, Trevor J. And well, let's do the classic card of the day, cosmic card of the day. Bum, 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 bum. Yes, we do this every day when I am in the country, and we pick a card, and whoever guesses it first writes the full name. Don't half-ass me. You will get 100 points added to your Raptor Freak score. This is very critical stuff right now for our Raptor Freak trivia stuff. So, yeah, people need to be here right now to get this. Okay, here we go. Be very fast. The ones that have been coming today have been very, very, very easy. So y'all better be ready right now. And if you wrote a comment in the last second, like David just did, you won't be able to answer in time. So let's hope that people have had their comments come through and they have time off the timer to get this one, because this one will be gotten immediately, like the last two ones we've had the last 2 days. We had Del Curry and Reggie Miller as the classic card of the day the last 2 days. Well, this one is just the same. It's just as easy. So y'all better be ready. I'm putting it up right now. And don't mess it up. And in fact, if you give his real name, I will be even more impressed. All right, there you go. Who is that, y'all? Who is that? 20 assist club in the New York Knicks jersey. Who is that? Who is that? I don't even want to show it too close because it might give it away too easy. Who is that, y'all? There you go. Smooth is on it. Smooth, the dominance of the classic card of the day, recognizes that is Doc Rivers. That is Glenn Doc Rivers. That's right. There you go. Boom goes the dynamite. Yeah, that is Glenn Doc Rivers. Boom goes the dynamite. Smooth brown man, undefeated. This is a special 20 assist club card. So Doc obviously got 20 assists in a game at some point, y'all. Just so y'all know. He was a pretty good player. It's not that Doc Rivers, he may be a shitty coach at this point, but when he played, he was actually a very good quality player. In fact, I liked him. He was one of my favorite guards in the league in the 80s. I was a kind of a fan of the Hawks, and I liked that team that Dominique, Doc, Moses Malone, Kevin Willis, and Spud Webb were on. That was a cool era of Hawks basketball when Dominique was around, and Glenn Rivers was a big part of it. So it's weird. I really love Glenn Rivers, the NBA player, but I hate him, the coach. I like him as an analyst, though. I like him on as an analyst, though. Tommy, why are you retracting your messages, my guy? All right, let's see. So Smooth has gotten the classic card today. This is good. So Trevor J saying also that IQ beat all comers last night. He was on 4 hours. He told somebody you're next. This was fun. All right, last night we had the Twitch matchups with IQ and other NBA players on Twitch for 4 hours last night. It was crazy. I was in there for most of it. I missed the first hour, and then I missed the last little bit because at 1:30 I was just like, I got to go to bed. This is ridiculous. And I thought they'd be done by midnight, honestly. But yeah, it was really fun watching IQ on Twitch last night, guys. It was eye-opening. And I learned some things about Emmanuel quickly last night. They're absolutely fantastic for the Raptors and absolutely fantastic as him as a player. First of all, I want to say this about the We the North NBA 2K team that Emmanuel's playing on. They have their stuff to organized. They are really, really got it figured out. I mean, Emmanuel's amazing. It's very interesting to listen to him on that game when he's playing with the other team because he is the point guard and he is calling things out. And it really gives you insight to how he may be vocal on a real NBA court because he is really calling out like defensive assignments. He's calling out schemes. He's calling out the next play on the inbounds. He's saying, Zane, you need to come over from this side to cross on the top to get the screen, to get the shot. And in one of the games, he called the winning play. He said, this is the play we're going to do, y'all. And I need you to run around the screen and do this, and you'll hit the three. He was the most dominant player in all the games that he played. He is very good. Like, we watched Scotty for a summer after his rookie year in the NBA, and he's not even on the same level as Emmanuel Quickly. I'm sorry to say that, Scott. It's just how it is. I don't know how Emmanuel got so good at NBA 2K and in the NBA. It's really rare. Usually this is not common happening like that. Now, Trevor's saying they were undefeated, and that's true to an extent, but it's not totally true. Now, they played 6 games last night. And the first 2 games were against the Charlotte Hornets. Mark Williams, the center for the Hornets, was playing on that team, and they beat them 2-0. I didn't see those games because I didn't get in there in time to see the first matchups against Hornets center Mark Williams. But we, the North, took care of business and beat their ass. Now, in between, when they were waiting, because they were going to play another set of games with PJ Washington, current Dallas Maverick, who's in the NBA Finals. Yeah. In between, they played 2 different teams in between. One team had a Kentucky Fried Chicken court with the Colonel Sanders in the middle of the logo. Is crazy. And they beat Emmanuel's team with some pink mohawk guy making a 3-point shot at the last second. And Emmanuel was frustrated because he was telling his guys where to go for assignments, and somebody blew the coverage on the switch. So afterwards, it was very interesting to hear Emmanuel go over why they lost at the last second by a 3-point buzzer beater by Pink Mohawk. And he was, he was very good leadership. It's kind of like, yeah, you didn't do this. And why didn't you do that? But it wasn't like he was like getting the guy all mad or anything. It's just a really good window of insight into the way that Emmanuel Quickly is a floor leader on a court. It was absolutely fantastic. It was amazing. I enjoyed it so much. And I know Monique was in there also really eating it up because we heard Emmanuel's true voice, his court voice, his voice that he may be saying things to Jakob and Scotty and RJ with when he's on the court for the Raptors in real life. So, oh my gosh, what a great experience. In some ways, it was very different than watching Scotty play 2K on Twitch. Very, very different, very serious. And this We the North team has their shit together. They practice and they really know each other, and they're really high-level basketball minds that understand basketball philosophy, and they're doing it in syncopation with each other in very good ways. In fact, I was so impressed with the We the North team and how they work well together. And Emmanuel is definitely the leader. And it's crazy how many times Emmanuel would just do a little couple dribble around and then go right around people and then dunk it on their heads. Either that or he was hitting some sort of crazy 3. He really has good skills on that game. Like, he has good timing with hitting the shots so they go in. And then also you can tell, once again, like I was saying to Tom the other day, video games are not a waste of time. There were things that Emmanuel was doing in that game that were showing me that he is practicing basketball philosophy and decision-making for the real game in the 2K world. Oh, it was so cool. It was one of the coolest Twitch streams I've ever watched out of all the NBA players I've watched on Twitch over the last few years. Scotty's been on a lot of cool Twitch streams. Don't get me wrong, like Friday the 13th and, just fun stuff like playing dumb games like Fall Guys and like goofy games with Lloyd and stuff like that. But this was different. This was Emmanuel Quickly coming to work and us hearing his true point guard voice in action, unfiltered. It would be like if he had the mic on him in an NBA game, and the stuff we would hear was what we were hearing in that Twitch stream last night. It was awesome. But yeah, he kept saying, like, all right, guys, we got to get done by midnight because I got to work out in the morning. He said, I got to work out for real, y'all. It's like he said he had to go work out. And then there was a break before they played PJ Washington's team. And he went to like a little gym inside the 2K world and he started working out there. And the chat was like, are you working out? This is what you mean? He's like, no, I mean, I need to work out for real in the morning. But it's like, dude, go to bed then, man. Don't be like making 2K a priority over your real life workouts as a professional NBA player. And it was funny. And it was weird because in the 2K world, when there's other NBA players in there, they can see each other. It was like he's running through the streets of 2K and you can see CJ McCollum is like a couple of yards away from him inside the game also. And it shows the NBA players where the other NBA players are so they can find each other. And of course, Emmanuel's not like Scotty. He actually keeps the NBA logo over him and he looks like himself in the game and he uses his real name. So if you see him on the game, that is him. And yeah, it was weird because PJ Washington was on there too, and you could see his player, and he had the real NBA logo on it too. Now PJ wasn't as good. He really wasn't. He didn't score a lot of points, and his team wasn't that good overall. Emmanuel's team kind of kicked their ass. They routed them by over 20. But the 2 games in between the matches with Mark Williams and PJ Washington, Emmanuel's team lost, and both by 3-pointers at the buzzer. It was really bad. The other team that beat them, other than KFC team, was an NC State team that had a Wolfpack logo for their team. These were high-level NBA 2K teams, but still, Emmanuel's record for his We the North team is like 148 to like 34 or something like that. It's insane. So we did actually see 2 losses for them last night, just to be accurate about what happened. But yeah, it was awesome. It was so cool. And Emmanuel is a real leader, and he's very vocal. When Scotty says that's my point guard, he means that. Because in some ways, when Scott's directing a team on 2K, he's not as like leadership. He's kind of like after the fact kind of leader, where Emmanuel is leader in the moment, trying to tell you what to do in that instant. And I'll bet you that's very similar on a Raptors court when they're playing together too. That Emmanuel may be the guy who's more vocal in the instant with the guys on the team. And I hope next year, even more so, that he feels very comfortable being absolutely vocal, being a leader for the Raptors on the court, because he's really good at it. Just listening to him on Twitch. Yeah, it was awesome. Tommy Dookie is here. West Coast chapter president of the Raptor Freaks family is Tom Duke, and he is also my moderator and also my producer that helps me make all the cool emoticons. Like you see, he has Jakob's face in there and the Raptor logo. That's Tom's work, and we got to appreciate Tom every day for the work he does to help this channel. Happy Monday, Lex. The Toronto Raptors were 4-28 without Jakob Poeltl this season. The Raptors have a 133-79 record with Jakob Poeltl all time. Cornerstone of the team. Let's go, Big Yak. This is really interesting stats. Last season, they were 4-28 when Jakob was not available. That is crazy. So they only won 4 games the whole entire year when Jakob wasn't in the lineup. And how many games did we win last year? 25. So 21 of our wins from last season, Jakob was involved in. So yeah, he's so crucial and important. This is part of the reason why dumbass Josh Lewenberg saying we need to trade him, because he really thinks we need to bottom out and tank so far. And he knows that if Jakob's on our team, we're going to collect wins. Popovich knew that too. And that was part of the reason why the Spurs traded him halfway through the season that when they did to us, is that they knew in the stretch run of trying to get in the Wemby sweepstakes, Jakob was going to hurt them for that. Well, this is the thing. Josh Lewenberg, get with it and understand what we're doing. We're not trying to tank and bottom out like other teams do. We're not doing a full rebuild. We are going to try and win still with what we got. I call it more a reset or a reboot instead of a rebuild. And Masai has made this very clear that he's not trying to wait 6 years to build his team back up. He's going to try and do it in the next 2 or 3 years. So trading Jakob Poeltl is not in the cards. This is such a good deal we have him on. $20 million a year for your starting center is fantastic. And he is absolutely a winning kind of player. So Josh Lewenberg, stop being a loserberg, and stop saying that we need to trade Jakob so that we can bottom out our record next season. It's a ridiculous take. And honestly, after so many years, a couple of years since Mark and Serge left, of wanting a capable center in the middle, I hate you for saying that, Josh, because we have had real problems at the center in between Gasol and Poeltl. And getting rid of Poeltl is absolutely a dumbass move. I will say that right now. And Tom's saying it right here. Our record when Poeltl is in the game is 133-79. And that is almost 2 wins for every 1 loss. That's a winning win percentage. And we need to have a center and a rim protector and a man like Blockup on our team. I'm just saying. And yeah, cornerstone. Exactly, Tommy. Exactly. Tommy's saying, have a tremendous week, everyone. Go get it. There you go. It is the first week of June, and it is almost going to be summer. It's very summer-like outside. The plants are growing and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, get your summer on and enjoy your time. I got to go to the post office today and try to figure out what my address is so Trevor J can send me basketball cards. I do need more packs of cards, just so y'all know. Now, the classic card box is great because it's good for the classic cards, but I actually literally need card packs like I do for the Wednesday show. So, Trevor, if you have find it come across any NBA hoops packs or anything like that, even a box of them or anything like that, ship that to me, please, because I need Wild Card Wednesday cards. I might go buy some myself in my travels around this week, leading up to the birthday party on Saturday at the NBA restaurant for Monique, the superfan Lawrence's birthday. We're going to celebrate on Saturday at 4 p.m. at the NBA restaurant downtown in Toronto. I hope you can come down there. Open invite to anybody watching me or hearing this. You don't have to be a regular on this channel. You don't even have to be known by us. Just come down and say, "Hey, Raptor Freaks, I wanted to come and celebrate the superfan Mo's birthday." And we are going to be doing that on Saturday. That's right. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Mo's saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. Way to go, Yak. That gym looks super small, man. It was great watching and listening to IQ last night. Yeah. I'm just glad, like, we don't even understand what kind of basketball facilities are in Austria. It's not really a very big sport there. There's a lot of skiing. There's a lot of hockey, maybe. There's a lot of, winter sports, but not a whole lot of people playing basketball in Austria. So, the gyms may be far and very few. So we'll have to, that he's got to work with what he's got in that country. And then also, she's talking about how fun it was to watch IQ last night. It was really fun. And it's really insightful, Mo, to hear how he directs on the court. Really, really insightful. He's a great leader. And honestly, like man, I have so much confidence in Emmanuel Quickly running our team as the starting point guard next year. I really, really do. Last night helped me have more confidence for this. Also, most saying we are way better with Yak, and to everyone talking up Yak's contract, shut up. He's not leaving. Shaking my head. Yeah, that's kind of what I was just talking about with Lewinberg. They think that it's because it's like a different kind of era of like time frame with Scotty and the younger guys, and Jakob doesn't line up with it. This is the same stupid thing they were saying about Pascal and OG and stuff. The thing that's different about Jakob and Pascal and OG is those guys got to get paid this summer, and their price is way up. And well, Jakob's locked down for like 3 more years at a really affordable, great price. So what is the problem here? We've got him on a great, great, great rate. And I don't understand why you'd want to trade that value, Josh Loserberg. That's what I'm going to say. Anybody who's talking tanking, you're a loser. And Loserberg, you're a loser for talking tanking. That's right. Most saying also, as I said yesterday in the Facebook chat, fans want IQ and Scotty to play together. So IQ was on for 4 hours. I predicted it, Trevor. Nice. Yeah, I was upset that he was on for so long. And when he said around 10:30, he's like, guys, we got to get this going because I need to be out of here by midnight. I was like, okay, good. I can go to bed around midnight on Sunday night. But no, he got into it and he kept playing. He just kept playing. But it is good to see that they did win the second game. But yeah, there were fans in there. First of all, the chat was out of pocket. There were a lot of New York fans in there begging IQ to come back to New York. A lot of dumbasses talking all this kind of stupid stuff for the Knicks, and saying dumb things. And then some people were also in there saying, you need to play with Scotty. You need to team up with Scotty on a Twitch stream and play in conjunction with Scotty Barnes and have a really cool stream with you guys playing together or against each other. I don't know. It'd be entertaining to see that happen for sure, Monique. And I hope it does. We'll have to see. Now, speaking of Scott, let's go ahead and look at the Instagram stories. And that'll tell us some things about things. He is still over in Asia. He's taking pictures and doing photo dumps late at night, like around midnight last night. He's dumping photos from his trip over in China and Hong Kong. Really cool, like rain pictures with bells hanging. So you can hear the rain, the ambience of it. If you're watching, there's a huge statue that he likes, but he's out in the rain, being a tourist in the rain in China. Of course, he's probably got a umbrella and some sort of raincoat or something. Hopefully, we don't want you getting sick. There's some really cool Chinese statues inside a temple he's taking pictures of. Really cool big gold Buddha. Wow, that is really beautiful what Scott is showing in his Instagram pictures over there. And there he is with the umbrella, kind of walking in the temple. He's got a nice fit. He's got the big jeans on. And yeah, just a nice t-shirt. Scotty looks like he's very happy. And like, he's a big kid, man. That guy is really big. Scotty is a big dude, man. And it's going to be fun to see how he does this season coming up. He's going to make more leaps and bounds like he did from last summer. That will be fantastic. There he is standing near a temple. Just looking cool, man, with the lantern lights above him. Like, this guy belongs in GQ for sure. He was in GQ magazine earlier this year. Yeah, very, very cool pictures, Scotty. Keep sending them to us. We love your photo drops. Let's see. We got Gary Trent Sr. is making fun of talking about how when boomers sell their house, they bought for $3,000 in 1964 and they get it for $1 million for it. I don't know. Gary Trent Sr. is funny. And then we got all right. Here's the post by We the North team talking about the games against Mark Williams and PJ Washington last night. They're first of all, they're hyping up the game against Mark Williams. Join Twitch, and then boom, 2-0 against Mark Williams' team, Charlotte's team versus Toronto. And there goes We the North victorious, kind of kicked their butts, really kicked their butts. At 11:30, they were going to play PJ Washington. And boom, 2-0 against PJ Washington and his staff also. So 4-0 in the official games. And actually, they were betting money on these games. Seriously, Emmanuel bet $100 on the game against PJ Washington last night. Now, don't do no Jonte. Come on now. I think that it's okay for you to bet on video games. But yeah, be careful here. Be careful here with we don't want any kind of allegations. Come on now, quickly. But yeah, he was 4-0 against the NBA guys he played against yesterday, the former Charlotte Hornet PJ Washington and the current Hornet Mark Williams. So good job, Emmanuel Quickly and the We the North 2K crew. He's saying appreciate everybody who came to check the squad out on an undefeated wager. 4-0 night. Stay tuned for more big matchups, is what they're saying. All right, Emmanuel actually had a real full day yesterday. He was posting on Instagram during the day. He's down in Miami, and he was jumping off the side of a boat into the bay, just taking a swim. And that's pretty cool. Like, that's pretty fun to be down in the canals and kind of hanging out on a boat and say, yeah, I'm just going to jump in the water real quick and then get back in the boat. And that's what he did earlier. Just as long as you're safe out there. There are alligators down there, just so you know. Actually, I think he's jumping in the water in D.C. earlier, and then he flew down to Miami. I don't know what's going on here. Now it's saying Miami, but I think the boat it looks like the Washington Monument behind him. Maybe that's just somebody's tower or something like that. Yeah, that's probably not DC. That's Miami, Florida, because that's what he says in the next one. And then he shows the spread of what he was eating yesterday. That looks good, man. There's some greens. It looks like some mac and cheese. Looks like there may be some ribs there, some hamburgers. That's some spread there from the chef there in the background in the picture. Let's see. And then he's got the clips of him beating Mark Williams. The score was 94-85 when he beat Mark Williams in one of the games. And yeah, they're talking a little bit of trash. And Emmanuel can say he has bragging rights over Mark Williams and PJ Washington on 2K from last night. There you go. You next is what he said to PJ Washington. I love it. Raptors 905 was out in the streets at Hazel McCallion Walk for Health. And we see Stripes, the Raptors 905 mascot, out there with the public doing the Walk for Health in Mississauga. Good stuff. It also looks like a shark. I don't know what that mascot is. It's a shark mascot. I guess it's the minor league team for the Leafs. I don't know. I've never seen that shark mascot before. But yeah, Stripes is out there dancing with the people, and it looks like in the rain. So Stripes is dancing in Mississauga in the rain with everybody. Okay, cool. Let's see who else we got. Jeff Doughton Jr. is celebrating Gary Payton II in his 905 days. Very, very interesting. Javon Freeman Liberty is with his nephew, I'm gonna guess, or a young person in his life that's important, getting ice cream. That's pretty cool. Miles Burns with his drop. Always got a photo drop from Miles Burns, a 905 rookie last year. Koloko is in Cameroon, and he's with family, and it's somebody's birthday. I think it's his sister's birthday, and he has a picture of him with his sister. Jonas Valanciunas has been on African safari. He's in Africa, and he's been traveling around taking pictures in safari trucks of him with lions. And there's a picture of him on his Instagram stories in a cafe with his friend with giraffes with their heads through the windows eating off their plates. So Jonas is over in Africa experiencing that continent right now, which is very cool. Very, very cool. All right, there's your Raptors Instagram check. We checked the Raptors and the former Raptors. And also, I should say real quick, Dennis Schroeder went live on Twitch about an hour ago. So if you want to watch Dennis on German time playing video games in German, well, he's on right now. He's on all the time. So there you go. There's the Instagram check. Boom goes the dynamite. There you go. Dana is here. Thank God. Canadian Dana has returned to the chat. She was not able to get in here. I don't know what's going on with really great Raptor Freak members not being able to get in here. Like Trevor the other day, Cowboy is having problems with his YouTube, and Canadian Dana had a hard time getting her being able to acquire this. I don't know what's going on. I'm just happy to see Dana in here this morning, and hopefully all the bugs or whatever has been happening will go away and there won't be any more issues. So good morning, everyone, and she can chat again. Thank God. I'm so happy about that. I'm gonna give Dana a dunk. Dana's getting a dunk for being able to chat. She's got 21. Thad Young. Thad Young, 21. There you go. There you go. All right, let's see what else is going on with the chat this morning. There's Cowboy. Good to see Cowboy back in the chat. Also, Cowboy's birthday was on Saturday. Happy belated birthday to you, Bradley. Always happy to see you. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Hope everyone is doing great. Let's go Yak. Let's go Raptors. That's right. And let's go Tada. Tada Cleaning Services, 647-833-6844. That is Bradley's company. And you could call the Canadian Cowboy if you need help with any cleanup around your house or your property. They clean windows, area rugs, ducts, eavesdrops, everything. And they can come and do special jobs to help you, like painting, flooring, handyman stuff, any kind of stuff, flood restoration. This is your group to call. Tada Cleaning Services. It's Bradley, 647-833-6844. Yeah, ta-da! That's right. That's right. Dana's saying again, let's go Raptors. That's right. I love it. Fiercey Salsera is here, holding it down for us in the capital city of Ottawa here in Canada. Good morning, fam, and happy Monday. Happy birthday again to Cowboy. IQ on Twitch was fun. Just tuned in for 30 minutes the most. Yeah, so Fiercey came in and watched some IQ on there too. He is so cerebral. And he is really on top of things. And in some ways, one of the things that was impressive to me about Quickly is how quickly he reads the floor and calling out things for his teammates. He sees plays developing very quickly, and he tells them what's up, screen or this, or get the corner, or do this or that. He was very much on top of it, and it seemed like he was a step ahead or even a thought ahead of a lot of the action on the court. This is a very good skill for NBA players to have, is premeditation and understanding anticipation. And Emmanuel was showing a very high level of it last night when he was playing the 2K. That's another thing I'm telling you. This is the great thing. The insight of watching an NBA player play NBA 2K can really tell you their philosophies and the way they think and the way they communicate on the court. And that was the real gold of watching Emmanuel last night in his battles on Twitch. Yeah, Fiercey, we love you. And so good to see you this morning. David's here. Nice to see you, Cowboy. Happy birthday to the Canadian Cowboy from David Saborin. David will be at the birthday party on Saturday. So you want to come down and say hi to Lex, David, Adriana, and Monique. We will all be at Monique's birthday party on Saturday, 4:30 NBA restaurant. There you go. Smooth. Good job. Let's see. Cowboy is asking me to scout Ulrich Kamachi. Now, I want to tell you this. You may not remember this, Cowboy, but you have already asked me to scout Ulrich, and I have. I looked at him already. But I do want to scout someone right now, and it's somebody that ESPN has mock drafted us for recently. And Monique went and scouted him after we talked about him the other day. But I'm going to do my visual scout today because I actually didn't go watch him until right now. So we're going to talk about Keyshawn George instead, Bradley. Sorry about that because I did actually watch Kamachi already. And he was okay. I watched him I think about a month ago, I watched him. Because you did bring him up before. It was either you or Mischief who asked me to watch Kamachi, and I did watch him. All right, we're talking about Keyshawn George, though, instead. He is actually 20 years old, and he is from Switzerland, which is very interesting. He's born in Switzerland, and he went to high school in France. So in some ways, he's sneakily a French player, even though his name sounds American. So Keyshawn George is actually from Europe, which is very, very interesting. He went to the University of Miami. He's 6'7", and he is a small forward shooting guard. So let's go to YouTube and let's find a clip of him, and I'll do a live scout on Keyshawn George today. Since the ESPN mock draft is projecting him as a draft pick for the Raptors at number 19 in the current latest mock by Jonathan Gavini. So let me see. Which one do I want to watch? I want to watch a shorter one. Let's watch the draft tape, the 2024 draft tape for Keyshawn George. It's only a minute and a half. Let's see what it does. All right, there we go. I see his form right now. Doesn't look bad. Good follow through. Let's see. Oh, all right. He's kind of got a flip shot. He's got a little swagger. I see him shaking his head. He's pretty tall for his position. I like that move right there. That was very much a Kawhi move. He drove into the lane and bounced off and hit a big shot. His form's pretty good. I have to get over the fact that he's a hurricane because I really don't like Miami. I really don't like University of Miami Hurricanes. But it looks like okay. Let's see. He's really tall for his size. In fact, I would bet you this: Keyshawn George could actually grow a couple inches taller because he's only 20, and in some ways, his body doesn't look fully grown. And watching him right now, ooh, there's a block shot. That's really interesting to see. You know what's weird? Because of his height, and maybe because his hair is tied up like it is, he's reminding me of Kawhi. I don't know why. Like, I'm not saying this guy's gonna be Kawhi Leonard, but for some reason, Keyshawn George is reminding me of Kawhi Leonard right now. There's a couple of plays where he blocked a shot. There's a couple plays like he just did a behind the back dribble on this clip, and he shook his player off and he hit a big shot. Like that's a move that Kawhi does. Like he has a Kawhi move right there, and the defensive stuff because of his length at the three is absolutely really attractive. So you know what? I'm not against this guy. Watching George now, finally, just now, makes me realize that he may actually be not a bad draft pick because he does have an outside shot. He has the ability to possibly grow more inches and be even more long armed, and he has a good outside shooting shot, and he can block shots. So wow, not bad, not bad. I was impressed with him. I think Monique liked him too when she watched him herself. So yeah, very, very cool. Sorry, Cowboy. I did Kamachi already, Ulrich, like a month ago. I remember. Let's see. Cowboy saying, thank you, Raptor Freaks. We miss you, man. And we hope you had a fantastic birthday out at Tommy Thompson Park down by the lake. That's kind of in my old neighborhood. You know, if I was still living at my old place, I might have come down the street to see you, but I'm nowhere near there at this point. Because yeah, Tommy Thompson was real close to my old apartment. And man, it's just the bad timing of moving out on the last day of May and being at my new place at the time. But I hope you guys had a great time out at the park and had a fantastic Saturday. Fiercely saying, young Doc Rivers has Giannis facial features. Yeah, you know what? You're right. In some ways, there is some Giannis look in his the way he's crinkling his forehead. I think it's the forehead crinkle that looks a little bit like Giannis. I think you're right. Yeah, I agree with you. Also, MK beat me by a few points yesterday at WNBA Fantasy. That was an exciting week. Let me go look at that. Actually, I didn't even check and see who won what in the matchups from last week. Very, very interesting. Okay, so I did lose to Morgan. I'm officially 0-3. I'm really bad, guys. I'm really, really bad. Let's see. So what were the other games that happened this past week? All right, let me go to the matchups for week 3. All right, David ended up beating James. Meredith did beat Fiercey. It was very close. It was almost like a 7-point win. Wow, that's very close. MK, no, not MK. Country Kong beat Edmund, and Kareem beat Cool Cat. And this week we've got all new matchups. So be ready and get your teams ready. I'm playing James this week, and it looks like Edmund's playing MK, Morgan's playing Fiercey, Kareem versus David, and Country Kong versus Cool Cat. Those are the matchups for week 4 of the season, and I am 0-3 after the first 3 weeks. Horrible team. I have a really bad WNBA team this year. I've had bad problems with injuries. That's part of it, and I don't think I drafted very well. Some of y'all have crazy good super teams, and y'all are probably going to win. All right, Kareem's saying, I'm trying to understand where the Doc part came from. We need to refer to him as Glenn. He's no doctrine in absolute anything. No, this is true. I told you guys how he got that nickname. It's very interesting and funny, actually. Yeah, it's true. He doesn't have a doctorate in anything. And why is he called Doc? Well, he was Glenn Rivers. And when he was at Marquette, he was Glenn Rivers. But you know what he did? This is what happened. Cream, he came to practice one day wearing all Dr. J clothes. Like he wore a Dr. J jumpsuit and like a Dr. J shoes. And the guys were ribbing him. And they started calling him Doc. Oh, it's Doc. Doc's here. They thought they were making fun of him for wearing all Dr. J clothing because he was a big Dr. J fan when he was younger. So that's how he got the nickname. They started calling him Doc after Dr. J. That's exactly how he got the nickname, Kareem, right there. Just so you know. Yeah, I don't know. It's a nickname that stuck. In some ways, at some point in the 80s, because he was named Glenn Rivers, and they did call him Glenn Rivers on TV broadcasts a lot, it just kind of morphed over to Doc. It was Glenn Doc Rivers for the longest time. And then all of a sudden, it just became Doc Rivers. And it kind of was like in the 90s when that happened. It was like in the mid 90s where the Glenn Rivers Glenn went away and it just was Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers. And then when he became a coach, it was just really Doc Rivers. You never heard him being called Glenn Rivers ever again. But when in the 80s when he played, he was called Glenn Rivers quite often. And he did stuff like, it's crazy. You know that Glenn did the dunk contest once. Did you guys know that Doc Rivers was in the NBA dunk contest one year? Yeah, he did. And I'm pretty sure he did the 3-point shootout too at some point. Let's see. Fiercely saying IQ has coaching potential, was very astute and good in his plays. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what a point guard needs to be, is a coach on the court. And he really impressed me last night. Like, I know he's always been like that. And it's just the we got to hear him vocally the way he is on the court. And man, that really informs us for how he plays for the Raptors on the court too, I'll bet. Right there. Stargate saying IQ obviously has coaching aspirations after playing is done. He should. He should. He's got the great basis in faith and leadership. He's a good role model. He's a smart kid. He's humble. And you know what? In some ways, he's also speaks his mind in a very firm way, but not in a demeaning way. And that's a very important skill for a coach. A very, very important skill. I agree with you, Stargate. Good to see you this morning. Kareem saying it's a complete crap. Full ass. It's a complete crap. That's hilarious. Yesterday, me and my family took a hike and ended up in an open field. We seen a small bunny, and my son, 19, basically chased it to the parking lot. 5 seconds later, a hawk came and swooped him up, traumatized. Man, that's awful. I will say this, don't run the bunny to the parking lot, because that's open space where it can be seen real easy. In some ways, I'm worried about cutting the lawn this weekend on June 1st, because that opens up the cover for the small animals, for the ravens and the hawks and the owls to get them. So yeah, that's bad. You got to let that rabbit have its hiding place, and don't scare him. Don't get him all skittered and mad and sad. The rabbits in my yard are left messed with. They just sit in the yard. They're not even scared of us in a lot of ways, because we don't mess with them. So yeah, that was bad. Why did your son do that? Don't mess with the rabbits like that. That poor rabbit. Yeah, but it's the way of life. The circle of life completes itself when the rabbit goes to the parking lot and the hawk gets its dinner. I mean, in some ways, the rabbits are making rabbits like rabbits do. So the hawk is doing his job. It's just how it is, Kareem. I hope that makes you feel better. But yeah, your son probably did help the hawk. All right, let's see. Stargate saying, "Oh man, I missed that Twitch session. I've been on Scotty's and T Ross's a few times, but not IQ's. Yeah, I hadn't been on IQ's like that until last night. I'd missed his sessions from before. But you know what they were saying last night, Stargate? Just so you know, they're going to be doing it all the time. He says he wants to Twitch and stream him playing 2K games like every day this week or something. So be watching out. There will be notifications that Emmanuel Quickly is live on Twitch in the days to come. Trust me." They were saying that they were having fun, and they want to do this all the time near the end of when they were playing. So yeah, let's see. Cowboy saying full ass food chain. That's exactly right. I'm gonna give Kareem a dunk for the sad story, even though, and I know he's traumatized. And next time, maybe your son shouldn't be chasing rabbits like that. Just let nature be nature. Come on now. Tom's got the emoticon reenactment here. Now we got the bunny, and there's that looks like an eagle, but we'll just say it's a hawk. Yeah, that's sad, Tom. That's sad. Trevor's saying Michael Jordan basketball card option on Saturday for a couple millions. Okay, yeah. This happened this weekend. There's a Michael Jordan card, and this is on the ESPN page. Michael Jordan card was sold for some millions of dollars this weekend. A coveted Michael Jordan logo man card, 2.928 million at auction. It's a 2003-4 Upper Deck Ultimate Collection autographed Michael Jordan logo man card, numbered 1 of 1, meaning there's only one of these cards in the whole entire world. And it is the most ever paid for a Michael Jordan card. That's insane. Almost $3 million. It's a nice card. It's got the interesting thing is the card has the NBA logo from his jersey, like, cut out. Like, the little patch, the NBA logo patch that's right here on NBA jerseys, they cut it out, and it's in there, and it's a game-worn NBA logo, and his signature is on there. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. And thanks, Trevor, for bringing up this story because, honestly, it is very interesting that, one of our cards, I don't know what this one's worth, maybe, 30 cents, I don't know, maybe $3. I don't know. It's a 20 assist Doc Rivers card. It's what around the same time, I think. That's a 2003 card that got sold for 3 million. What does that say at the bottom? This is actually a 1993 card. So this is 10 years older and probably worth way less. Doc signs it. I don't think it helps at all. All right, let's see. Tom's laughing. Cowboy's laughing too. Trevor's saying IQ said he's coming for the number one spot. I got you, Lex. Awesome. I appreciate that, Trevor. Yeah, whatever you can do to help me out. I'm going to get you my address after today. I'm going to the post office today, and we're going to sort out how I get mail. I have no idea how I get mail here. So we're going to go figure that out today. But yeah, Trevor, you're right. IQ, his team is like number 5 on 2K right now. Their record, their pro-am, and they want to be number 1. So the We the North 2K team is coming for it, and they are very serious. And yeah, he's saying this, that he wants to come and get that number 1 spot. And I see it. Yeah. Cowboy's saying, I'm going to try my best to make it to Superfan Mo's birthday. That's awesome. If Cowboy can come down there too, anybody, if y'all want to just surprise us, Logical Raptors fanatic, anybody who's downtown who loves the Raptor Freak channel and wants to meet Superfan Monique Lawrence and myself, you are more than welcome to come down to the NBA restaurant, have some food with us, sit at a table, and eat, drink, and be merry, and get some classic cards. You could have this Doc Rivers card just for fun. It's in the 20 Assist Club, and we can assess it and find out how much it's worth compared to the $3 million Michael Jordan card. But yeah, these cards are going to be available. I'll have all of them, and I give them free to all you guys. That's the thing. Trevor may send me cards, but I'm not keeping them for myself. Well, some of them. But most of them are for you guys, and I'll turn around and give them to you. It's kind of a calling card for the Raptor Freak Hangouts. It's classic cards will be there, and Monique will look through them, and she'll be like, I want this one, and I want this one. And, other people will too. Like, who knows? Monique might want this Del Curry card right here, a former Raptor. Del Curry, the father of Steph Curry, of course. Yeah. So we'll have to see. Yeah, I hope you come down, Cowboy, and bring the family. Hey, bring whoever you want. Bring your wife. Bring the kids. Hey, bring your brother. Bring anybody. It'll be cool. It's going to be fun. Stargate saying, what is everybody's obsession with tanking? I never trusted Josh. Always looked at him side-eyed. Some of these Toronto basketball media heads are sus. Grange, Josh, even Doug. Yeah, I mean, you know what it is? In some ways, we're all human beings, and we have our own sensibilities. Josh Lewenberg, I don't know. In some ways, we got to remember, once again, that Josh Lewenberg works for TSN. And TSN is Bell. And, well, Michael Grange works for Sportsnet. And Sportsnet is Rogers. And we have to remember that sometimes what they're doing is in conjunction with corporate wants or whatever. In some ways, we've speculated that maybe some of the media people are trying to make things shaky for a front office by some of the things that they report. And I think that that's just part of this. In some ways, I don't know. They want to make people think that the Jakob deal was a mistake. And they're wrong. They are absolutely wrong. People like Orrin Weisfeld and other Raptors people like him understand this, like I do, that this was a great deal. I don't care if our pick in the 8th pick or whatever it was this year is going to San Antonio. I would do that deal every single day, knowing exactly what has happened since. It does not bug me that they're going to get an 8th pick in a weak-ass draft where everybody's scrambling to get away from this draft at this point as far as trades and doing things. It's crazy how this draft is, and the Raptors having to defer a pick for Jakob Poeltl in this draft is really worth it, trust me. Just trust me on this. So I don't know what Lewenberg's problem is. Part of the problem is also is how bad the Raptors were at the end of the season is really making everybody think we're a really, really bad team. And it's not true. I wish people could judge the team with open eyes without Scottie and Jakob and understand that's a huge factor. Tom spit the facts at the beginning of the stream of what we are when Jakob's in the lineup, when how much we win. And Scottie has the same kind of effect. So anything that anybody's judging after Scottie broke his hand is stupid. That is not the real Raptors. And with Scotty Barnes, with the new acquisitions of Abaji, Olynyk, Quickly, and Barrett, is going to be a very formidable core that's going to do perfectly fine next season. And everybody that thinks we're going to be some sort of 300 team or something like that, you're crazy. We're going to be more of either a 450 team, if not a 500 team, or just above 500. So let's not think we're so bad that we got to tank out to the bottom like Josh Lewenberg thinks. We are going to be way better than people think. And it's really because we have a very young core that is really on the upside to develop into being better very soon. And that you could say that about Scotty, Emmanuel, RJ, Grady. It doesn't matter. They're all have an upside that's going up, and none of them are like at their peak or going down. They're only going to get better. So that's part of the misconception is like people just look at the record from last year. People just look at the losing streak after Scotty got hurt, and they think, oh, the Raptors are so bad. They might as well just be absolute shit so they can get the number one pick. That's the Lewenberg thought. And it's so asinine and stupid because we're way better than people think. And they're going to find out next year. They're going to find out. We'll see. As long as we're healthy, we're going to be good. If we're not healthy, well, we'll lose again, just like we did last year. That's just how it is. Let's see. Stargate saying the rumor is OG may not stay in New York. Laugh out loud. I know. This is fun, actually. Like, there's more security with us retaining Quickly than OG staying in New York or Pascal even staying in Indiana. Like, we have way more security. I mean, Manuel's running around in a Raptors old school jersey, white pinstripe dinosaur jersey on his video game. New York fans are saying, why are you wearing Raptors stuff? Well, he plays for the Raptors, you idiots. Yeah, well, we want him back. Jalen Brunson wants him back. Well, Emmanuel Quickly don't want to play behind Jalen Brunson, you dumbass Knickerbocker fans. You don't understand that? The part of the reason why he's in Toronto is because he wants to start. And you guys got your new beloved New York Knicks starting point guard Jalen Brunson. There's no place for Quickly in the Big Apple now. Don't you understand that? Toronto's going to give him everything he wants at this point that New York can't give him. So that's what I would tell you, New York fans. He doesn't want to be on your team because he wants to start, and he wants to be on the team with Scotty Barnes. And that's just how it is. And he loves playing with his best friend, RJ Barrett, also. Let's just say that also. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what happens with Anunoby as far as the number and where he is. I don't think it's a slam dunk he's going to come back to New York either. I really don't. Trevor's saying Dennis and News Sneakers yesterday is on fire. So Dennis Schroeder had new Pumas come out in Germany. And yeah, he's got all kinds of cool products he's endorsing. So check out Dennis's Pumas. He has got brand new shoes. I believe they're gold or something like that. David's saying, I hate stupid idiots on Monday morning. Okay. Does it matter if it's Monday morning, Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning? Don't you just hate stupid idiots any morning? David, you're awesome. We love you, man. Stargate saying, what country is Scotty in? Okay, we're playing that game. Well, he originally flew to Hong Kong, and then he went to China, but now he has bounced back to Hong Kong. So I'm pretty sure he's in Hong Kong currently right now. So yeah, he's gone Hong Kong to Wuhan, China, back to Hong Kong. So I'm pretty sure he's in Hong Kong right now, but I don't know. We don't know where Scotty is. He could be anywhere. But the last thing I seen is he had traveled back to Hong Kong from China, unless he's doing pictures in out of order. And he had a bunch of Hong Kong pictures that he put out after he's been in China. He could still be in China though, too. He's either in China or Hong Kong right now. Wayne's saying Yak is crucial to our future. Truth be told, if you were wrong in the past about Pirtle, it's kind of obvious you're still wrong about him now. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the facts, the stats don't lie. The stuff that you see on the court doesn't lie. The eye test. I mean, when he's not on the court, we have no protection for the rim. Guys just go in and do whatever they want. Any big man can just manhandle us and go up over us. And guys go into the lane and they just get layups. It's disgusting. In some ways, he's absolutely crucial for the Raptors to have any kind of defense because we don't have anybody in the center watching the rim and stopping people from just attacking it. And it's so, so important. Not just that, the rebounding. There's battles for rebounds that we absolutely got crushed in the second half of the season without having our two best rebounders, to be honest, Scotty Barnes and Jakob Poeltl in the lineup. It's like, yeah, we're not going to win any rebounding battles, and we're wide open for business down low as far as any guy can go down the lane and just start scoring on us. That's the difference right there. with Jakob Poeltl in the lineup. Is people ain't doing that if he's playing. And I wish Raptors fans understood this fact. You guys got to understand there's two sides of the game. It's not just offense and three-pointers, youngsters. It's also playing defense and rim protection and getting rebounds. And that's why we need him. That's right. There you go. Good stuff, Wayne. I'm going to give Wayne a dunk. Wayne's been awesome the last 2 days. I know we had a very different gear we were in yesterday, and I appreciate everybody who was here yesterday for the Lexathon that was very political. And, well, we got it all out of the way. We won't be political for maybe another 6 months or something like that. Just had to do a political stream here and there. It'll drop like that every once in a while. G's here. Good morning to the original Raptor Freak Trivia Champion, Season 1 Trivia Champion, G. Let's see what he's saying. Good morning. Happy birthday, Cowboy. And go Yak. Go Raptors. Well, actually, you know what? It's some other people's birthdays today. So let's check on the Raptors' birthdays for today. Today is actually the birthday of Otto Porter Jr., guys. Otto Porter is 31 years old today. Happy birthday to Otto, who's turned 31. He's retired now, guys. He is out of the league at 31. Isn't that kind of crazy? That seems young. That's what I'm saying. That's why somebody like Thad Young is so impressive. Because you see somebody like Otto Porter Jr., who probably maybe could have played another 5 years in another world if he wasn't hurt with his toe. And yeah, he's done at 31, y'all. He was done at 30. That's crazy to think, isn't that, guys? Isn't that crazy to think that his NBA career is over at 31? All right, Scott Roth is also his birthday today. Scott Roth is a former assistant coach for the Toronto Raptors. Scott Roth is more known around the Minnesota Timberwolves franchise as a player in their expansion team. In the very, very first year of Minnesota Timberwolves basketball, Scott Roth was on that team. He was in the expansion draft and added to their team. I believe it was from Utah or something like that. But yeah, Scott Roth, a former assistant coach of the Raptors, it's his birthday also today, and he is turning 61. So happy birthday to Otto Porter Jr. and Scott Roth. There you go. Boom goes the dynamite. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Cowboy. Yeah. Let's see. Respect at G, Dap. And Lex, your painting is crooked behind you. Is it? The bottom, Lex, has to go up a half inch. All right, let me see. Oh, whoa. I don't know. Is that right? How about that? Is that okay? Is that acceptable? Is the picture acceptable of the hay at the old farm? Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Cowboy. And Tom's got the triangle out. He's trying to get me to really, like, maybe I need a laser, like a measurer or something like that. I'll get it really right. Really, really right. I don't know. I don't think that's right either, Cowboy. Come on now. I don't know. You're really a stickler on me today. I don't know. Maybe I need to sit more straight. Maybe I'm not sitting straight. I don't know. Maybe it's optical illusion. Maybe the floor isn't straight and the picture's straight, but the camera isn't straight. I don't know. Either way, we got to keep moving. Ta-da. Maybe I need to call ta-da to get my picture straight. Let me see. Let me call them real quick. Hello, Cowboy. My picture's not straight. Can you come over and fix it? All right, let's keep going. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying this morning. Fun stuff. Stargate saying Dennis would be such a nice backup point guard for us. Shaking my head. I know, but we've already gone down that route. It's not that he's not friendly with our guys. Emmanuel and him have a connection. It's weird. They played with each other for 2 weeks, and Emmanuel and Dennis have a weird friendship after that. Scotty also. We all kinds of speculation that Scotty had a problem with Fred, and then he had a problem with Dennis. All bullshit. Scotty lovers overreacting, being overprotective of Scotty, saying, "Oh, Dennis and Fred are bad to Scotty." Bullshit. You know, Scotty loved playing with Fred and Dennis, and it was absolute horse crap, the stuff about that. Sure, Dennis is outspoken. He's brash. He says a lot of things, but he's an important kind of personality sometimes on a basketball team. He may rub some people the wrong way, but honestly, the competitor in him and who he is, I respect immensely. So, yeah, I would love to have Dennis Schroeder on this team, but we were talking about yesterday, what if Kyle Lowry is our backup point guard next year? That would be crazy. Would you rather have Kyle Lowry as our backup point guard or Dennis Schroeder? That would be very, very interesting. Yeah. Cowboy is saying he likes Keyshawn George. Yeah. University of Miami, long-armed, looking very Kawhi-like. Seriously. That's what my impression was. He has a certain move that's exactly Kawhi's move to shake guys off and get that shot at the top of the key. Very, very interesting. Cool Cat's here. Good morning, Rapid Free Crew. Just joining a bit late. Good morning to you, Cool Cat. Always good to see the coach. Cool Cat. Cool Cat has played basketball in her life, and she is a good basketball player, and she knows X's and O's. Goes to a lot of Raptors games. We love Cool Cat, number one Raptor freak on this channel. Always good to see you. James is saying a thumbs up to Keyshawn George. James is saying it's a good thumbs up from you. All right. Yeah, I like the 3-point shooting along with the versatile long arm body that looks very good for defensive purposes as a wing. Yeah, there's something there. Cool Cat saying, saw your heading. That is very good for Jakob to have a camp in his country, grow the game. Yeah, it looks like a really cool little group. I think that the ages were around 7 to like 12 or something like that. Not too old. Really, really good stuff. Like I said, this makes such a huge impression on young people. You know, Scotty doing these camps in Mississauga around Toronto is a big deal. In some ways, he's helping to foster future Team Canada basketball teams. You know, they're seriously, this is how things happen like this. Little kids go to these kind of camps and they dream big and they go far. And that's the thing that I love. You may see these pictures of young Koloko at the basketball with Giants of Africa, you know, over there when he's meeting Siakam way before he's in the league playing with Siakam. That's what I'm saying. This stuff really does work. Precious Achua came from camps like this and made it up. You know, really is a really good thing to grow the game for sure. And that country, Austria, well, it needs some basketball growing in it. It probably does, yeah. Cowboys saying I was at Thompson Park, Scarborough, Brimley, and Lawrence. Lex. Oh, okay. I thought you were down at the one by the lake, down near Leslieville, Thompson Park down there. Okay, so you were actually kind of closer to me, but I'm still way up near Simcoe, so I'm not actually that close. But yeah, all right, Bradley. Well, I hope you guys had a good time. You're over near where they have Rib Fest and all that, right? Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Bryce is here. Good to see Kentucky checking in with us. Good morning, Lex and the Raptor Freaks. I hope you beautiful people have a blessed day. Right back at you, Bryce. Tap, tap, tap from you and David. Both of you guys. Yeah, it was funny watching Emmanuel play his 2K game against the Kentucky team last night. These guys had the Colonel on the court, Colonel Sanders, and a KFC logo. And I'm like, why do they have a KFC logo on there? And this guy in the pink mohawk, he did look like he was glitching. At one point, they were like, man, this guy's cheating. They was like, how is he hitting all these shots? Because it was kind of crazy how this pink mohawk guy was bombing from the outside. And they left him open right at the last second. He hit a three right at the buzzer, and they won by 3. The KFC team. It's so weird. Very Kentucky. Kentucky Wildcat Emmanuel Quickly playing against a KFC team with Colonel Sanders on the logo in the middle of the court. It was weird, Bryce. If they have a replay of Emmanuel's game last night against the KFC team, you should watch it. It's hilarious. Let's see what else is going on here. David is saying, well, at least Glenn accomplished something. He got himself a cool nickname. Yeah, I mean, Glenn Rivers has accomplished a lot in his career. I mean, think about it. He's been very successful. You know, in Atlanta in his playing career, he didn't really do a whole lot as a player, but he did win a championship with the Boston Celtics and Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce as a coach. He has had a very good broadcasting career. And, you know, his playing career was, like I said, he was an all-star. He was one of the better players in the league. Like, and when he played in the 80s, he was maybe like one of the top 25 players in the NBA. People don't realize that. It's not like he was a role player in a scrub. He was like the second or third best player on the Hawks after Dominique. So it's not like Doc was a scrub when he played. He was actually a very good NBA player. In fact, I may even say he's a better player than a coach, even though he won that championship. So, yeah. Let's see. Cowboys saying later, Lex. Tap to you, Bradley, and Raptor Freaks. Love all y'all. Everyone have a safe day. Let's go, Raptors and Raptor Freaks. There you go. I love it, Bradley. You have a safe day also. Come on the 8th, Cowboy. That's right. David's saying come to the Raptor Freak meet and greet. Monique Superfan Lawrence's birthday party at the NBA restaurant, 4 p.m., June the 8th, this Saturday coming up. I'll be there with the classic cards, and we'll be having a good time and hanging out in the NBA restaurant. And if there is a Boston Celtics server, there may be some side entertainment. Yeah. Yeah. David's going to be there with me, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Cowboy saying, I'll try my best, bro. All right, Mug Brothers, in effect. Y'all come down there, and maybe you can be Mug Brothers in the parking lot next to the lake. David saying, Emmanuel Quickly, Twitch TV, Emmanuel Quickly. Yeah. Yeah, you need to watch it, David. You'd enjoy it. It was very insightful. And Emmanuel is so smart. Monique is saying, just his name, Bryce. Emmanuel Quickly. Yeah. Yeah. That's what his name is on there. What's his IQ Twitch? Yeah, it's just his name. It's really good stuff. Really good. He found it. All right, good. Good stuff. David saying, I don't understand the whole, oh, we lost our draft pick. We didn't lose shit. We traded the effing thing, clowns. I know. I know. And then maybe even Messiah and Bobby understood that this draft was going to be weak on when they made the Jakob deal. And they're like, oh, next year's going to be crappy. So we'll just give San Antonio our pick next year, kind of thing. Once again, I love the Spurs. If we give them another top 10 pick, I'm not upset about that. I'd like to build up a good team around Wemby. So if they can get number 4 and number 8 in this draft, I'm not upset about that. If it was another team, I'd be more upset. But I love the Spurs. And if we help the Spurs get 2 top 10 draft picks this year, that's just a side bonus. In some ways, if we're gonna lose a pick or something like that, or we lost a pick, we didn't. We just paid the price to get our starting center. I'm glad it's the Spurs. Once again, I'll say that over and over again. Carlos saying Lewinberg just lacks imagination and can't imagine getting better without getting a lottery pick. You know what? This is probably exactly right. Carlo, you're awesome. And you know what? I'm going to give you a dunk. This is good insight. A lot of it is that so many people out there are judging how to be successful in the NBA on what is successful at this time. Like we've had people come into the stream in recent weeks say that the Raptors are in trouble because we don't have lob threats. Well, just because lob threats are utilized by the Mavericks with Kyrie and Luka doesn't mean every team needs to do the same path to get to a championship. That's the thing. All 30 teams have different unique things about them, and there's always different paths to get to championships. And there's no carbon copy that everybody's supposed to follow. So the whole idea that Josh Lewinberg thinks that this is just the way teams should do things, this is the mode you got to go into because this is what it is. No, we're not the Wizards. We're not the Pistons. We're not the Magic. We are solely the Raptors. And the Raptors do things way different than any other NBA team. And some reasons because we have to, and some reasons because we can. And that's the thing that Lewinberg's not understanding. That's the thing right there. We can't mess up on the draft. We have to draft very well all the time because in some ways we don't want to have a lot of draft picks like the Thunder. We just really, really utilize them and we don't bust on them. We make them really count. And in some ways that's no waste. That's really efficient. In some ways the Thunder are not efficient. The Pistons, hell no, they're not efficient with their draft picks. But the Raptors are because in some ways we don't want to totally rely on them. But the ones that we do get, well, we're going to make sure they hit. They're going to hit. Now, Koloko would have hit, but there was a medical condition that messed that all up. A lot of the draft picks that Messiah and Bobby have made have hit. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. David's getting dap, and let's see. Blackhawks saying Atlanta getting number 1 pick changes tanking sentiments. Yeah. Like, seriously, they did not tank. They were on the fringe of making the play-in. They did fluke get the number 1 pick, though. They did not have a good chance to get it, but they did. And that's the whole reason why they have this system is because the NBA does not want any team losing on purpose. Losing on purpose is a big no-no. If Adam Silver detects that your team is tanking on purpose, he will punish you. And that's why fans so vocal about it and saying it so out. Like, you guys are idiots. Don't you understand that we will get in trouble with the league if we outright just so blatantly try and tank? The Dallas Mavericks got in trouble for it last year. So what are you trying to do, Josh Lewinberg, with your tank talk? It's not healthy or good for the team because the NBA doesn't want it. So why would we want to anger and Adam Silver by doing something stupid that doesn't actually help us? That's another part right there. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. David's saying, pretty sure these draft picks are for sale too, just like the games. Yeah, well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what's up. David's very cynical this morning. Carlos saying, happy birthday, Cowboy. There you go. More happy birthday wishes for Bradley. And David saying, didn't Otto retire 2 years ago? Now, I know what you're trying to say. That's a crack on us. No, listen, he had a baby and, he broke his toe. And, well, he came and he fulfilled his contract with us, and then he got traded, and then he retired. It is what it is. David, I have no problem with trying Otto Porter Jr., and seeing if he could have worked at that time. It was a great free agent signing. And in some ways, I still think the idea of it was great. It's just injury messed it up. And you can't really do anything about that. Yeah, sure. All right. You want to say he retired 2 years ago? Well, he did play games for the Raptors last year, just so you know. Monique saying, just informing you guys, Teresa Resch has a lot of interviews online now. Swish inside the W and highlighted Raptors Mary Andrade. Oh, very cool. All right, very cool. Raptors coach Mary Andrade getting some shine from Swish. That's very cool. Or Inside the W highlighted them. And then, yeah, Teresa Resch is going to be getting a lot of interviews now. See, now that she's got a Masai Ujiri position, it's going to be more public. She's going to be the face of the WNBA Toronto team for the initial part. You know, Larry Tannenbaum's the owner and in the behind the scenes, but Teresa Resch is manning the steering wheel and steering that team and getting everything is organized. So she's going to be a lot more out in the public. And obviously, because this is such a new thing and it's exciting, she's going to be very much demanded on by the press, and she will have more stuff out there in all kinds of different ways. I'm very excited to see how the logo, the name, the colors, everything for the Toronto WNBA team develop. Now, we've seen recently a leaked design by the Six Man that came out calling the team the Toronto Northern Lights, and the color scheme being kind of blue, purple kind of stuff. It's not bad design. I don't hate it, but I just want to make sure that people aren't duped to thinking that that is the official design and the official name of the WNBA team for Toronto. Nothing has been decided yet. In fact, they've said that they're going to do the same thing that they did for the Raptors. They're going to have a naming contest, and they're going to come up with names from that. So there is going to be something like what happened when we got to the Raptors. Another thing that a lot of people have a misconception about with the WNBA team for Toronto is that it's going to be connected to the Raptors. It will not be. It's not owned by MLSE. And you've got to understand there's legalities that will make it that it's probably smart not to tie it in as a dinosaur kind of motif with the Raptors. This is the same situation in Chicago. Chicago Bulls are owned by a different person and different company than the Chicago Sky. The Chicago Sky do not have the same colors as the Bulls. They do not have the same arena. They are totally separate. And this is going to be the same situation for the NBA and the WNBA in Toronto. So everybody who thinks that this team's going to be the Toronto Triceratops or Pterodactyls or any kind of dinosaur-related logo or motif, you're not going to get that. Because in some ways, this team needs to be a separate thing completely from the Raptors so that it can be its own thing in some ways. Teresa was very clear that the name for this team will have something to do with Canada and the whole country. And it's more likely to have something to do with Canada and a Canada name than a dinosaur name, just so people know. Because Kilmer Group is not MLSE. And everybody needs to understand that. It's Larry's own thing. And Rogers and Bell are not involved in the WNBA team, just so y'all know. So there you go. Dana's saying, happy birthday to Cowboy. I love it. And David's saying, thanks, Mo. Appreciate it. And Trevor's saying, every time I'm watching a WNBA game, the women's been packing up all the arenas. So people were noticing, like Trevor, watching the WNBA games, that the attendance is up. And people are more excited and interested. And the game competition is up, too. Caitlin Clark has shot a shot of adrenaline in the arm of the WNBA league. And there are more eyes on it. There's more seats there's more butts in the seat, and there's a more happening with the WNBA this year than ever, and that's fantastic. I love it, and we're got it coming here to Canada. It's going to be awesome, and I am so stoked to cover WNBA games on this channel in the summertime and the years to come. Yeah, that's going to be happening. I'm glad I'm already used to doing year round, because it's not going to be no rest for me. I will cover that WNBA team just like I cover the Raptors. I will be as in depth. I do not have the knowledge base of the WNBA that I do of the NBA, but I'm going to learn fast. Trust me. I'm going to learn fast. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Wayne is saying now, let's see. He's saying, any sightings of Pascal in town? What's the free agency timeline? This summer will be instructive for the league, starting this month with the European football, Olympics next month, and the NBA draft after. Fun. You know, this is a cool thing, Wayne. There's a lot of they're starting to start the qualifiers for the Olympics, because they had to figure out a couple more teams that are in the field for the men's basketball in the Paris Olympics. And there's a couple of spots that are going to be figured out by tournaments. So there's still some really cool action coming up very soon where teams are going to have to play each other, like Montenegro and Vucevic and Greece with Giannis, to try and still make the Olympics as teams that are trying to get the last spots. So it's going to start ramping up with that energy into the friendlies for Canada and USA. at Vegas. They're going to play each other in a friendly match before the Olympics. So we're going to start generating that excitement for the Olympics very soon with the qualifying tournaments in Europe and other places and the friendlies for Team Canada coming up. So I'm excited for sure. This is going to be fun. I have not heard about what's going on with Pascal at all right now. I will guess and speculate from past summers that Siakam is on a beach, is somewhere in a very, very beautiful, pristine, one of the most beautiful places in the world. I don't know exactly where he goes. I'm sure Cool Cat knows, but he's probably there right now, is what I'm going to guess. I don't think he's up here in Toronto, but he could be. He could be, but I haven't heard anything. And in some ways, he's radio silence since the Pacers were eliminated and he's on his official summer break. But if I had to guess, Siakam is on a very beautiful island with white sand, very, very beautiful bright blue water, and a very, very clear sky. Anywhere anyone would want to be right now on Earth, right now. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing right now. Oh yeah, this is actually Cool Cat's answering your question right here. She said, I was wondering if Pascal joined the Cameroon pre-qualifying Olympic team. I know they asked him to join them. Yeah, I heard news, Cool Cat, that Siakam is going to be there for Cameroon and try and be there to compete to help them try and get into the Olympics. So, yeah, good on you, Siakam, and boo to you, Embiid. Yeah, I'm sure if Koloko was medically cleared, he would be there helping Cameroon also. So, yeah, no, I've heard this actually is true that Siakam, now that he's out, is going to go there and he's going to help Cameroon try to qualify in the qualifying tournament. That's right. You just reminded me because I did hear a confirmation that Siakam is going to play for them. So just so you know, I said something about that a couple weeks ago when I heard it, and I forgot about it. James is saying Masai is good with the scouting, 100%. Yeah, that's why I trust our front office in this week draft more than most of the other teams in the league. Is because if there are any hidden gems in this draft, like the draft with Gobert and Antetokounmpo, Masai and Bobby know who they are. And that's why it's like trusting Masai. You know, there may be some dead wood. There may be some bunk busts in this draft. And they may know who they kind of know who are better to get and or have high proclivity of being successful picks over possible, like, yeah, this guy may not work because of this. They really do their homework. They do all kinds of stuff. They don't just do the on-court eye test and looking at skills and their bodies and how they are physically, the medical history. They look at psychological. They look at how they are personality-wise. And they really do kind of forecast and think about how that fits with the existing core and personalities that are already on the team. That's important. That's very important for team building in the US in the NBA at this point. So I have full confidence that Masai and Bobby are at the top of their game when it comes to scouting and drafting, just like James. Yeah. Stargate saying Doc Rivers was a good player. That Hawks team was pretty good. He played with Dominique, Kevin Willis, Randy Whitman, Spud Webb, John Battle, and Cliff Levingston off the bench. Antoine Carr, another one. John Koncak. How about that? Yeah, you brought up a couple of guys I'd forgotten about. Randy Whitman. He became a coach of the Indiana Pacers at some point. John Battle. He was the backcourt mate with Doc on a lot of nights. Doc would play point guard, and John Battle was the starting shooting guard. John Battle's a name I totally forgot about. It's really cool you brought him up, Stargate. Man, nobody talks about John Battle ever. Holy crap. So, Stargate, I'm going to give you a dunk for mentioning John Battle. And I will, on top of your John Battle, I'll say Antoine Carr and John Koncak. There you go. Stargate, you are at a Charles Oakley 34. Awesome. Very, very cool. You got the old Oak 34. All right, let's see. David's saying Dallas got lucky to keep that pick after they traded, got Lively, only cost them $75,000. Yeah, Spurs fans have been talking about this, that in some ways, something that happened with Lively actually set them up to be at this place in the finals right now. Yeah. Yeah, it's a really touching story. The thing about Lively and his mom, in some ways, I'm rooting for the Mavs just because of that story. In some ways, that would be so heart wrenching. His mother dies of cancer just a couple months ago, and then boom, he wins an NBA championship. We'll have to see how it all goes down with the finals. I said yesterday, in some ways, I'm okay with either team winning now at this point, and you guys know my reasons if you watched yesterday. Wayne's saying, pay attention, Raptor freaks. Spurs always have good players to trade. Good to be in good graces with Pop. Look at White at Boston. He's from San Antonio. I think he's a solid Olympics. Here we come. Yeah, this is gonna be cool. I think that I think you're right. And we have a really good relationship with the Spurs. We've made trades with them pretty consistently, almost one every year for the last few years. You know, whether it's Siaka, we did something before where we traded another deal with them with Yaka before with Kawhi. So there's been a lot of trades with the Spurs in the past 10 years and they're very friendly with us. And I honestly, I think if you ask Spurs fans, they would say the Raptors have been very nice to us and we've been very nice to them. It's worked for both teams very well. I feel like the trades that have happened between San Antonio and Toronto have been very fruitful for both teams. And Spurs are getting good things in different ways, and we get good things in different ways. It's like Pirtle really helped them for the time period that he was there, and they liked having DeRozan. And we've enjoyed having Pirtle back now, and they've enjoyed having our draft pick now. So it all works out. It's just business and dealings in the NBA. And Spurs and Raptors will do deals. They will do deals. So we're in good standing with them. It's always good to be in good standing with them. Yeah, the Spurs Nation are kind of rooting for the Celtics in this playoff because of Derek White. Also, they kind of hate the Mavericks because they are a Texas team that's in proximity to them in a division with them as a division rival. So Spurs Nation's officially rooting for the Celtics mostly, just so y'all know. Carlos saying, hey, Lex, did you see the VC interview where he's saying he handled his departure from Toronto the right way? The nerve of this guy. No, I didn't see that interview, and I'm glad. It probably just pissed me off. Yeah, what a mess. You know what? If he's actually just saying that, then that really makes me sad because he's not owning how he was really not professional in the way he handled his last year in Toronto. He said he handled it in the right way. Well, Vince, I respectfully disagree. And I am one of the ones that say, yeah, you don't need to have your jersey retired in Toronto. You will give you a statue. Once again, I'm very much on the record saying I don't mind giving a statue to Vince and honoring him, but I think it's the wrong move to retire his number because other people should be able to wear 15 in a Raptors jersey. And you know what, this whole thing, like I saw the interview with Andrew Wiggins. They brought this up too. Andrew thinks that they should retire Vince's number. Man, I'm telling you guys, I'm so against it. And I am such a diehard, longtime Raptors fan. I know some of y'all are for it, but I'm just really, really against it. And what Carlo just told me confirms even more that I'm against it. Because honestly, Vince doesn't understand. He can't get out of his own head to understand how he hurt his fans here in Toronto. He cannot get outside of his head to understand that. And that's too bad. It's too bad that he doesn't have the empathy or the ability to get outside of himself and look out from the outside in. Because if he still feels like he handled it right, well, he doesn't learn jack shit. And, Tracy said that he didn't handle things right. And he didn't even do as bad of things as Vince did on his way out. So, yeah, get over yourself, Vince Carter, is what I'm going to say. And that disappoints me that he feels like he handled things the right way. No, you did not. In some ways, look, I will say this over and over again. Two wrongs don't make a right. Even if the team wasn't doing things right, doesn't mean you have to stoop to their level and act like you did and not try harder. In some ways, if you wanted a trade, you could have demanded a trade. If you wanted, you should have just sat out. You should have faked an injury and said, I can't play, instead of coming in and giving a half-ass effort instead. In some ways, I would have respected you if you'd done a Kawhi Leonard better, because then we would have just like, yeah, you're an asshole. You're just like, you're holding out for your contract to get traded. That may have been the best thing you should have done, because then you would have came out as, you're trying to act like you're a nice guy and say, oh, I don't really want to leave and stuff like that. But you really did. And so you half-ass tried playing and averaged 12 points a game when you really should have been averaging over 20 points a game. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't forgive this. I can't forget this. And in some as people say you're holding grudges. No, I just remember how shitty people are in the past, and I'm remembering it. That's all this is. That's all this is right here. Yeah, yeah. All right, let's keep going. I appreciate you bringing that up to light, Carlo. I'm glad I didn't watch the interview myself to hear it. And yeah, the nerve of that guy. Seriously. Randolph Phillips is saying, good morning to our beloved Raptor Freaks, most informative gang. Blessings. Happy birthday to everyone celebrating theirs in the month of June. May your life be filled with happiness, joy, and peace. Yeah, everybody's birthday is in June. Oh, my gosh. Everybody's birthday is in June. Randolph, I got to go get all these birthday presents for this birthdays in June. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, blessings to you, Randolph, and the Phillips family, all the Raptor Freak families. Fiercely saying, yes, said Trevor, the arenas are packed, and there's now controversy on how the rookies, especially Caitlin, are being treated. Very aggressive on the courts. Well, this is part of leagues. Listen, you're a new person, you come in, you're getting accolades, you're getting shine, you're getting publicity. Well, they want to test you. Some of the old heads in the league from before, well, they say, welcome to the WNBA moment. And in some ways, Caitlin needs to go through this. We shouldn't baby her. She should get the treatment everybody gets. And yeah, you're a golden girl. You're somebody who's touted and all over the advertising for WNBA. Do you deserve it yet? Well, we're going to make sure you do. And we're going to put you through the school of hard knocks. So anybody who's being the equivalent of Charles Oakley in the WNBA right now saying hello and welcome, I fully endorse it because that's the way it should be. That's the way leagues are in sports. You rookies got to come in and get their lessons. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. They're being aggressive. Maybe if they're just as long as nobody's getting hurt and being dangerous is what I'll say. Wayne's saying more women at games. Cool. Lots of hot grandmas. Oh, okay then. Wayne's like, all right, I may need to go down to the WNBA game and just check the atmosphere. Yeah. I went to the WNBA Canada game here in Toronto last summer. It was fantastic. There was a very, very diverse crowd, and there were a lot of children there. There were a lot of young boys and girls watching the women's game, and that's fantastic. Lots of families, lots of women, lots of people of all ages, lots of people from all walks of life. And that's something that's cool. In some ways, the WNBA crowd is going to be different than the Raptors crowd. And I'm kind of interested to see how it is and how it is different and what kind of personality that fan base gets. In some ways, we'll be a part of it because we are Toronto basketball fans, and this channel will cover that team. That's right. Yeah. David's saying, yeah, this channel behind the line talks on the fact that the WNBA players hate Caitlin Clark and beat her up. Dunk, laugh out loud. Well, I mean, listen, as long as nobody's doing something criminal as far as a physical assault like Draymond would do, I in some ways, it's like if it's a little extra bump, if it's a little hard foul, but it's like not dirty, these things are going to happen in basketball. It's just how it is. If people are trying to be overprotective of Caitlin because they know she's a meal ticket for the league, I can understand that too. But it is what it is, and it's going to be what it's going to be. And in some ways, the older vets of the WNBA, well, they're the ones who decide this. And if they want to do this and this is how it's going to be, well, that's the same way with Draymond in the NBA. He's going to say, welcome to NBA, rookie, and put somebody on his ass. Well, there needs to be a WNBA equivalent. And we can't be thinking this is different just because they're women. I mean, if this phenomenon is happening, you know what? Caitlin's just got to toughen up and be ready for it. That's what Larry Bird would have said back in the day when he got those same kind of like things. But of course, Larry didn't have to go through that in certain ways because he was the one terrorizing the other people. And in some point, Caitlin Clark will be the person who's terrorizing the other people much more than that. But she's got to learn the terrain, the landscape of how the WNBA is, who the tough people are, and who she needs to watch out for. That's just how it is. Stargate saying, my suspicion is the Kilmer Group will eventually buy out the Raptors in a few years once the financials are in order. Get away from the Maple Leaf connection. Here's hoping and praying. I totally want this too. I know Stargate, as an employee of Rogers, knows from the inside that it's messed up. And yeah, I would love the Raptors to be detached from the Maple Leafs, MLSE, Rogers, and Bell, all in one clean sweep. And if Larry Tannenbaum and the Kilmer Group can somehow, some way figure that out, it could very well be that we may not be able to play in Scotiabank anymore, and we get our own arena, a basketball arena for both the basketball teams, and Kilmer Group builds it and has their own arena. It could be a lot of different ways we do it. Kilmer Group could buy the Raptors from MLSE and pay MLSE rent to have the Raptors play in Scotiabank Arena. They may actually go for that because they may still be getting a cut from the Raptors, but the team will be owned by Larry and Kilmer Group. I would love that scenario. I would absolutely love that scenario in either way. Now, even if they have to pay rent to the Scotiabank Arena and MLSE to play in that arena, that's still a step to getting them away from that other entities. So I'm all about it, and I'm with Stargate on this. In fact, I'm going to give him a dunk for reminding me of the possibility of this possibly happening. 35 for you. You got the Christian Coloco, my guy. Christian Coloco now. Yeah. I mean, that's a dream. And if it could happen, well, maybe it can. We'll have to see. Fiercely saying, fam, I didn't watch Andrew Wiggins' interview with Sportsnet. Is he saying he wants to play for Team Canada? Yeah. But he's so aloof. And in some ways, I'm really disappointed in Andrew. Like, how many years have you been in the NBA? Seriously, you should be a much more wise veteran. He came off as like a young guy who just doesn't have a clue. And in some ways, I don't think he's going to make Team Canada. I mean, this is what's going to happen, Fiercey. He's invited to the practice to try out. And depending on how well he does, is whether they're going to say no or yes. And I don't see it. I don't see it. RJ is ensconced in that position and that same kind of role on the team already. His father's running the team. It's not like Rowan Barrett Sr. is going to say, yeah, RJ, you're not on the team because I picked Andrew over you. No. And plus, Andrew hasn't really played consistently in the NBA the last 2 years. So we have no idea where his game is actually at. Now, there is a chance where he comes in and he's absolutely healthy, gangbusters, and amazing, and they can't say no to him. But I think it's more likely that Team Canada is already jammed up, and especially at the position Andrew's at, and that he has no place on it. And yeah, he does want to play for them. He's trying to circle back and come back. David's saying, question is, what do we want? Who cares what Andrew Wiggins want? Exactly. What does Jordy Fernandez want? What does Rowan Barrett Sr. want? What does Kelly Olynyk and RJ Barrett want? Because in some ways, those guys are bought in and been with the program and building it up for a long, long time. And Andrew has not. That's another thing. Andrew said no to Team Canada in the past. And now all of a sudden he wants to come around and say, I want to play for them. You told him no before, my guy. Now all of a sudden, because we got an all-star team, you want to come and join it? You could have been leading this team before, out of the dark ages into the new era. But no, you chose not to play for Canada in a lot of instances. So that's all I got to say about that right there. Well, who cares what Wiggins wants? Exactly. Carlos saying amen to that, Stargate. I love that idea too. If the Kilmer Group can be the savior for the Raptors, I'm all about it. Fiercey saying Siakam, high five, and Embiid, garbage. Yeah. Yeah. Cameroon will tell you that. People at Cameroon will tell you that right there. Monique is saying all around great streams, W vibes. Keep at it. Always good times approaching. Go Raptors for life. Raptor Freak family crew strong forever. Thank you, Mo. And you're a big, big part of it. You're like the heart of the Raptor Freak family. And I'm so happy that we're going to get to honor and celebrate you on Saturday at 4 p.m. NBA restaurant, Queens Quay, downtown Toronto, the first ever NBA themed restaurant. It's like a Hard Rock Cafe that's NBA. Isn't that cool? So if you don't want to come to see us, just come down to see the restaurant and come down by the lake. And you can meet Lex, Monique, Adriana, David, hopefully Cowboy. We'll have a good group of the Raptor Freak family down there, along with Monique's friends and family also. So yeah, definitely come down. It's going to be a good time. 4 p.m. next Saturday, June the 8th, the NBA restaurant, downtown Toronto. You can find it. It's on Queens Quay. That's right. They got a parking lot outside too. Kareem saying Caitlin Clark isn't the only rookie getting treated like shit from the other WNBA players. Candace Parker was literally scrapping every game. Now she's retired. She's not playing anymore. Is she talking trash on the broadcast? I don't know. I don't totally understand this, Kareem. Now is Angel Reese getting it too? You know, that's the thing. Those were the two stars, the two big names that were bandied around last year because of the great women's Final Four. Yeah, Angel Reese is kind of probably getting it a little bit herself. Who knows? I mean, this is how it is. There's a rookie hazing in the NBA where they got to carry Dora the Explorer backpack. Well, there's also stuff that happens on the court that says, welcome to the league, rookie. And that's just natural process. If women want equality, well, this is what happens in men's sports. So it should happen in theirs too. We shouldn't be treating them just because they're women. Oh, you can't be physical with each other. No, we can't do that. We've got to allow them to play the sport fully as if they were men. And that's part of like getting around gender roles or ideas about what women should and shouldn't be doing. If women want to be physical like Charles Oakley on the court, go ahead and let them, is what I'm saying. Yeah. Fiercely saying, David, I don't want Wiggins, but I'm afraid he gets prioritized despite his last 2 seasons of not being that great. I don't think that's true. You know, when they asked him, are you going to be on the team? He said, we're going to have to see. He didn't say outright, we'll see what happens, is kind of what he said. Yeah, he has no guarantee on this. I would tell you there's some guys that are guaranteed they'll be on Team Canada. But Andrew Wiggins is not one of them. He is not one of them. And seriously, I think Rowan Barrett Sr., especially the way that they decided the FIBA World Cup team last year, is smarter than to just put Andrew Wiggins on the team because of he's a name. Yeah, he's not that dumb. He's not going to do it that way. Just trust me on this. They're going to figure it out. If he's on the team, he earned it. That's what I'll say. But if he's not on the team, well, it's the way it's supposed to be. It's the way it's supposed to be. I mean, I'm not against him being on the team if he's absolutely a good contribution and it is a smart move. But that is up to Roland Barrett Sr. and Jordy Fernandez. And if they decide it isn't, well, I stand by them, obviously. But if they think he's going to help and they put him on the team, I'll support it. But right now, I don't see it. I don't see it because we don't know what his body of work is right now or how well he'll play. Because as Fiercey said, he's barely played the last 2 seasons. So Carlos saying WNBA is in its NBA 90s, 80s petty era. That's cool. So you're saying that they're petty? They're playing like Detroit Pistons bad boys in the late 80s, early 90s? You're saying that it's like a Dominique Wilkins versus Larry Bird, punch him in the face kind of thing going on? That's what's going on. In some ways, those are two of the best decades of the NBA ever, the 80s and the 90s. So maybe that's true. Maybe Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are the coming of Magic Johnson and Larry Bird in the early 80s. And this is the year where this happens. Is this like the same year that Magic and Larry hit the NBA? And boom, we see how that league exploded in the 80s after Bird and Magic showed up. Well, this could be very true. This could be a similar kind of wave like what Carlos saying that they're going to ride with Reese and Clark. So very interesting. Very interesting. Not that they're necessarily the right pair to go against each other. It could very well be that Clark finds a foil that's better for her than Reese, but they have history already. And in some ways, they're both rookies, just like Magic and Larry were at the same time, too. So let's keep going. Fiercely saying Alyssa Thomas pulled a Draymond chokehold move on Angel last week. It was nasty. See, now I don't endorse that. And that's one of the reasons why I hate Draymond Green is because he influences people to be more violent on the basketball court when it shouldn't really be like that at this point. You know, he gets away with it, but not everybody will. And well, what did she get in trouble for this? Like if she did some sort of chokehold like Rudy Gobert chokehold Draymond Green did, yeah, there's no place in basketball for that. Now, I don't want people to get it twisted with me as far as like there's a difference between Charles Oakley thuggery and being tough and Draymond Green violence. There's a difference. In some ways, Charles Oakley was very measured and purposeful. In some ways, Draymond Green is out of control and he's possibly hurting people not on purpose. He's not very careful with what he's doing. Charles could be like he's firm and he's strong and put somebody on their butt, but he was not trying to actually like career end somebody's injury or something like that, like a career ending injury. Charles was very measured with his physicality and how he doled it out. And it wasn't just like punches or lashing or like flailing your arms and like hitting people in the face or even coming up behind somebody and putting them in a chokehold. No, Charles was more like, I'm going to bump you with my shoulder or I'm going to hit you with my hip and you're going to be on the floor. He wasn't like hitting people with his arms. He could, and he may have, he'd hard foul somebody as a receipt from somebody from the other end of the court. Somebody hit his player like Vince or Michael. They hit them going to the basket. Well, he's going to hit their best player coming to the basket in the next play. That's just the way the NBA was at that time. And, well, there's a difference. If you're Charles Oakley kind of physicality, that's good. If you're Draymond Green, no, because that's violence. And that's actually not measured or smart, and it's irresponsible because it could very much career end somebody's with an injury that's career ending. So that's really bad. Really, really, really bad. Wayne's saying, don't forget, we got Thad from the Spurs. Yeah. There's been a lot of dealings with the Spurs in the last few years, including the Kawhi deal, a very, very big deal. Most saying, don't get me started on Andrew Wiggins. The guy literally ditched Team Canada for that somewhat reason. I continue to hate Andrew Wiggins, championship or not. There you go. See, Monique has not really liked Andrew since he dissed Team Canada. Even when the Warriors won, she couldn't celebrate with us that Andrew was a champion from Vaughn because she still kind of detested him. This is good to know. I didn't know this about Mo and how she feels about Wiggins. Stargate saying, oh, wow, Lex, with the John Concac name drop. Moses Malone also played with them at the end of his career. Remember Tree Rollins? Man, these young kids just don't know, Lex. Yeah, Tree Rollins, he was one of the oldest players in the league at that time. Yeah, he was really interesting player. Very tall guy. His name was Tree. Yeah, he was like the backup center for the Hawks, and then he went to the Cavs, I believe. He was a couple different places. You're making me think of really old centers in the 80s. How about Caldwell Jones? Yeah, that was a very old center. And his brother Charles played for the Wizards or the Bullets at that time. Carlos saying, enjoy the WNBA now, like the NBA. It will get to the soft era, and we will reminisce on the good old days. That may be true. Carlo may be very right. That in some ways, the leagues are always going to evolve and morph, and because the WNBA is a different entity to the NBA, it's on its own schedule. And in some ways, the way they officiate the games will be different too, and different officials. So that all has a factor into it too, and the style and what the WNBA and the NBA may morph and change over time. Like, I don't know, maybe they don't mind the physicality with the ladies for a while, but maybe it does get kind of more softer over time, like Carlos saying. We'll have to see. Ahmed saying, I fell asleep. How's it going, y'all? It's pretty good. Ahmed, it was Glenn Rivers, and you probably would have got it right away, but Smooth got it. Smooth got it today. Let's see. Kareem saying, in the NFL, rookies literally are fighting for their lives because veterans on other teams are trying to kill you. Not only that, their own teammates are doing hazings inside the locker rooms. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I love hearing the stories about Magic when he was a rookie on the Lakers. And they showed a bit of it on that show, the Winning Time or whatever, that HBO series. You remember the scenes where Magic Irvin, he would have to go get Kareem's orange juice and newspaper. That is the kind of stuff rookies have to do. They have to do crazy stuff. Like every morning, Magic had to bring Kareem orange juice. And if it wasn't freshly squeezed, he poured it out. He's like, this isn't freshly squeezed, Irvin. And he pours it out right in front of him. And Magic's like, oh, it's like, but it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. What are you supposed to do? This is just how it is. It's a hierarchy. It's a thing to humble the youngsters that come in. In some ways, this is more important than ever in the NBA because these guys come in so arrogant and so like their asses kissed their whole life. Like, oh, you're so good, LeBron. You've been so good. Well, do you think LeBron got that same kind of rookie year? Probably not. But some of these guys that are prima donnas, that are really like into themselves and think they're just the hottest shit, they probably need the old school kind of rookie hazing like Irvin Magic Johnson had from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to ground them and maybe humble them a little bit and understand this. I feel like there's a lot of young energy in the NBA that needed to be humbled. Let's just put it that way. And it's just not like that anymore. It's not like that in the NBA for sure. And it's a good distinction by Carlo and what you guys are saying. Trevor's saying Sunday's WNBA team is the number one team with no loss. The Sun, the Connecticut Sun, are the number one team, and they have no losses so far this year. That's fantastic. I had no idea. That's really good. I should pay more attention in general to the WNBA. I'm just paying attention to my team. In some ways, I'm going to have to start watching games more, like you guys are already. I will definitely be watching all of the Toronto-related games and everything Toronto-related. In some ways, that's the way I operate with the Raptors. So I may not start totally watching the WNBA games until we are playing. So let's see. Cool Cat saying Pascal's supposed to play for Cameroon Olympics qualifying July the 2nd to July the 7th. So there you go. It's about a month from now. Yeah, this will be good. And I'll love to see this. Siakam doing what Embiid should have done. And yeah, he's Siakam's just awesome. We love Siakam so much. And him showing up for Cameroon, well, that just shows so much about his character. It seriously does. I mean, he doesn't have to do this. Think about how much money he makes for the NBA. Does he really have a good chance with Cameroon? No, he's not showing up like these NBA dream teamers for the USA. And it's like, oh, well, there's Kevin and there's Steph and I'm set. I'm LeBron. No, Pascal's coming in there as the sole one guy who's probably going to be totally the man for that team and a lot of burden on him. That's not easy. And he's not afraid of it. He's coming for his country. And I respect that immensely. I respect that immensely. Kareem saying, I meant when Candace Parker was a rookie, she was scrapping every game. Yeah. I mean, this has probably been the case in the WNBA on the down low, silently with no attention on it since the very beginning. In the very beginning of the league, it was people like Tina Thompson, Cheryl Swoops, Cynthia Cooper, Lisa Leslie. And there were some old school players from the very beginning that were teaching lessons to people. Cynthia Cooper was so dominant in the early WNBA. The Houston Comets won almost every single year, and she was teaching lessons. She was the Michael Jordan equivalent to the WNBA, Cynthia Cooper. So, yeah, there was probably all kinds of this stuff already going on. It's just that we're seeing it now because we're paying attention. And it's just like, maybe the rookie hazings and the welcome to the WNBA moments were happening. It's just that nobody was watching. So I would think that may be true. Fiercely saying, can you make a real quick video call from the group chat for those who can't attend Monique's birthday? I want to say hi to everybody and the birthday girl, only if possible, Lex. We can try and make this figured out. We'll have to do it through the Raptor Freak Facebook chat. And anybody who's in there will have access to this. So maybe what we'll do is we'll do a video call on there, and people that are in the chat can watch us for a second through there. So maybe we'll do that. I'm not going to stream during the birthday party. I'll do my regular Saturday morning Share the Love Club and go to the birthday party, but maybe we'll do a live stream through our Facebook chat group to show people like you, Fiercely, that are in there what's going on. And if you want access to that, well, become a member of the channel, and you can join us in our Facebook group where we share news, breaking news about the Raptors all the time, and we will have access to what Fiercely just asked us to do also. Let's see. Great news, Cool Cat. Yeah, I love this about Siakam's honor and loyalty to Cameroon. Yeah, you could learn something from him, Joel. You could learn something from him. Cool Cat is saying Angel Reese almost got her neck broken by Alyssa Thomas, too. Caitlin, Angel, and other rookies are getting the welcome to the WNBA moment. Newbies watching the W are just shocked at the level of physicality. Well, I would hope that people that love basketball respect the level of competition and intensity. And that's the thing is like, yeah, they're women. But yeah, let's not get all like, oh, this is women. They should be delicate flowers. No, no, these are strong athletes and they should be respected. And that's the way we talk about it right there. Yeah. Monique saying, my first Raptor Freak family crew get together with you all. A bit of planning went into it, but let's go. Yeah. I love that it's centered around Mo this time. We did the first ever Raptor Freak hangout on my birthday, the first ever one, and Mo came to it. And we had a great turnout with the Saborans and Raymond Jacob and Cowboy and Evelyn. And I really appreciate everybody who came to the first one. It was such a special one. And then, since then, Mo's come to a couple since. We've had great Raptor Freak meet and greets, different ones. The Coach's Open House, Real Jerk. We had a couple at Real Sports also. And now we'll have one at the NBA restaurant. And this one's around Monique's birthday. And also the 1000th stream of this channel. Yeah, that'll happen that morning too. So, but yeah, we're definitely going to be celebrating Monique's birthday on Saturday. It's going to be fun. Cool Cat saying, Real GM published Pascal will be suiting up for Cameroon playing Brazil, Montenegro in the Latvia Olympic qualifying tournament. Yeah. Yeah, I'd heard confirmation he was going to play about 10 days ago. It was before, actually, I went on my trip to Estonia, Cool Cat, that I heard that Siakam was going to play for Cameroon. And maybe it was during the trip. I don't remember. I did see that news at some point, and I'm really happy about this. I think that it looks really good on Siakam. And in some ways, you know what? He's the kind of guy that just goes and goes and goes. We know he doesn't get tired. So why does he need an off season? In fact, it's probably better that he's putting the work in for Cameroon, worthwhile, and doing that because he's going to be working hard anyway. He's not playing piano with his life. No, he's not. He's not. Carlos saying, what is the timeline for the Olympic Games? What month will this play out? It'll be in July. Yeah, all of it's going to go down in July. The Olympics will probably be done before halfway through August. So there will be a good period of time between the NBA season and the Olympics for like training camp, Rico Hines runs, things like that. Jordi Fernandez announced his coaching staff in the last couple of days. He's got his Brooklyn Nets coaching staff together. This is fantastic because in some ways he needed to get those kind of things done before the Olympic stuff starts taking up his time with Team Canada. Very interesting coaching staff. The only person of note that's on it that's very interesting is Juwan Howard, former Michigan coach, has switched from college to being an assistant coach for the Brooklyn Nets under Jordi Fernandez next season. He's the only notable name. The other ones I don't really know very well or understand who they are. And I don't care because it's the Nets. But Juwan Howard is an assistant coach under Jordi Fernandez for next season on the Nets. So I'm just glad he's got it set up, and it's not going to be a distraction for what he's got to do with the work with Team Canada now. So let's see. Kareem saying, I'm Team Wiggins, by the way. I think he'll be a great addition to Team Canada coming off the bench. Yeah, this is cool. I mean, I know that Kareem likes Andrew Wiggins, and I mean, we'll have to see. In some ways, like I said, Kareem, his interview with Amit and S did not impress me. He seems really kind of spacey and like he's not dialed in. And I'm wondering about his commitment to his athletic career right now. It's a little worrisome. Let's just put it that way. We can love the guy and we can think Maple Jordan's awesome, But in some ways, I want the best team going to Paris. And it's not about feeding egos or saying, yeah, you just want to be on Team Canada, Andrew. We're going to put you on there. No, it's about sending the best 12 guys to compete to get a medal for Canada. And in some ways, if that doesn't line up with it, well, don't line up with it. That's right. Yeah. Most telling Carlo it's July. Olympics are July, and he can't wait. I can't either, Carlo. This is going to be a fun summer. We're just kind of plotting through the summer. I've done my vacation now. Now we're going to start doing the finals, the draft, and the Olympics. And those are some great things. As you guys know from last year, when we do Team Canada games, I actually live watch them and actually do a play-by-play announcing during Team Canada games. So that will be returning this summer. When Team Canada is playing, there won't be normal streams. I will be doing live watch-alongs with me commentating during the game. We did this last year for the FIBA World Cup, and it was very fun. And we're going to do it again this year, guys. So there will be live watch-alongs of the whole entire game with me commenting on every play and everything that's going on the court. I will be doing the SGA brings it down the court. He goes around the screen of Kelly. He fakes the shot. Oh, and he takes it. He makes it. SGA for 3. Canada up by 5. I'll be doing that during the game. So if you enjoy a possibility of hearing me call the game, that's what will be happening during the Team Canada competitions this summer. I will do all the games, the friendlies too, will be watch-alongs also. Trevor's saying, why Andrew wants to play for Team Canada now? He refused before. Now those guys get a bronze medal. He wants to come back. Boo on you. I mean, I can't disagree with Trevor to an extent. It's like it was cool. They made it cool. These guys last summer made it cool. And now all of a sudden he wants to be a cool kid and be involved. I feel like that's part of it. I mean, some of this is kind of going on with the USA team also. Like making that super team and Grant Hill announcing all those players playing for Team USA. Yeah, in some ways, they're trying to get their last hurrah, too. That generation's probably going to go off in the sunset very soon. Durant and James and Curry. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll see how things go with this. We'll see how things go with Wiggins. And I'm glad that the Team Canada has options instead of like going to the cupboard and it's kind of bare with food. We actually have some choices for who we put on our Team Canada roster. And that's great. That's great. Carlos saying, I love how high level Team Canada is now. We're talking about not needing a guy like Wiggins. Haha. I know that. How far have we came, Carlo? How far have we came? Where it was like we were begging him 10 years ago to come and play for us, and he wouldn't. And now we're so good that we don't need him. This is amazing. It's absolutely amazing, Carlo. I'm gonna give you a dunk for this. And I think you're right. I think it's absolutely a benchmark and a milestone to show just how far the Team Canada program has come. That maybe Andrew Wiggins is not needed. This is amazing. Stargate saying, I have an old center for you, Lex. Granville Waiters, Chicago Bulls. I don't even remember that name. That's going way back. That's got to be even earlier 80s than me and maybe even 70s you're talking about in Stargate. I've never heard that name before. Holy crap. I don't know that player. This is amazing. Granville Waiters. All right. Kareem saying Pascal gets to go to Cameroon and will be praised. Embiid will probably get deported back to Philly. No, he'll show up back in Cameroon and they'll say, why don't you just go to France? And he'll go to France. And they'll say, why don't you just go to USA? Yeah, you go ahead, Embiid, and just crap all over your background and the people that where you come from. Yeah, that's just messed up. I mean, the easy route is to go and play for USA. Come on, man. Easy route. You taking the easy route, Joel Embiid. You probably take an easy route if it would get you a championship. If you could get a championship the easy way, you probably would. And that's part of the problem. You probably won't get ever an NBA championship. So you need to go get an Olympic gold just to make yourself feel better, Joel. Oh, poor little Joel. Crying in the halls of Scotiabank Arena. That's right. Yeah, once again, y'all, it's 5 years ago. The Raptors were playing the Golden State Warriors in the finals. Yeah, we were beating their ass. And we were on our way to our first championship 5 years ago. So that's why I'm always celebrating Toronto Raptors champions, because it is our 5-year anniversary. And we should be very proud of that. And I will do this. I will be doing anniversaries for this championship and hopefully another one very soon. That's right. Let's keep going. Cool Cat saying, Lex, the article you're referring to was the official invite from the Team Cameroon coach. Now this article indicates he accepted the invite. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he'd do it. I mean, he's that kind of guy. You know how Pascal is, Cool Cat. He's not going to want to turn his back on Cameroon. He cares about his country. He cares about his people. Unlike Joel. That's right. Cool Cat saying, I'm fine with Wiggins on the team. When he played with Nick Nurse on Team Canada, he was a game changer, bailing us out a lot. SGA, Murray, Wiggins is a killer trio. Personal family issues was real. Yeah, I mean, Mitchell Wiggins, former Florida State Seminole, former NBA player, Houston Rocket, has had very poor health in recent years. And this is the reason why Andrew's been away from the Golden State Warriors, because he's been tending to his father and helping him in his bad condition. So this is exactly the reason why. And we can't hold that against him. But in some ways, also, I will say this: when he has showed up and played Cool Cat and Andrew, Cool Cat and Kareem, he has not looked good. He's not been at the same level that he used to be, like maybe even the championship year for the Warriors a couple years ago. He has not looked as good or sharp. And he even admitted it in that interview with Amit recently that he didn't have a good start to this season, this past season. He did not play well this season. He said that in the interview that recently came out. So I don't know. In some ways, I'm on the fence on this. In some ways, I can be like Kareem and say, yeah, I could see where he could really help our team. And like what you're saying, Cool Cat, when he did the time when he was on it before. But I could also be like Monique and other people and say, well, you weren't there for us when we needed you. And now all of a sudden you want to show up. I mean, it's not in my hands. I don't get to decide this. So whatever happens, it shall be as it shall be. And I'm okay with him being on the team if he does make it. I'm not like so mad. I'm like, don't be on the team. All right, I got 5 minutes before 2 hours. So I'm definitely going to read the last comment from Cool Cat and Monique's and then get out of here. That's right. She's saying, get out of here. Cool Cat saying, now that Cameroon is trying to get on the world stage, Embiid should feel crappy not suiting up for his birth country to help build the profile. Pascal will be the most celebrated, respected b-baller. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why he didn't think about this. Like, make a name for your country. There's a lot of African nations that are rising in international basketball. And, like South Sudan, Cameroon could be one of those powers coming out of that continent if Joel would just be loyal to his country. Yeah, it is what it is. He wants to take the easy route. He's going to take the easy route. Once again, thank you, Yaka Pirtle, for putting on such an amazing basketball camp in Austria this weekend. So cool to see all the happy, joyous faces, and it sounds like it was a huge, complete success. Here's Leo's life tips real quick, guys, on our way out. He's saying, good morning. Coffee moves you. Here's to an amazing week. Your doubts create mountains. Your actions move them. So, yeah, don't be making doubts because they will make mountains in your way. But if you do what you need to do, you can move those mountains out of your way and get what you need done. Good job by Emmanuel Quickly and the We the North 2K squad, dominating in their games last night against Mark Williams and PJ Washington of the NBA in NBA 2K action on Twitch. Loved seeing all that. That was pretty cool. Let's see what else. Happy birthday to Otto Porter Jr. and Scott Roth. And if you have a WNBA team, make sure you set your lineups for tomorrow because there's no games today. Isaac Campbell, thank you for putting me on blast. Please watch, comment, subscribe, like, share, clip me. I don't care. Do whatever. You can do it. You can do it. And thank you, Jakob. Thank you, Raptors. I appreciate Toronto. I appreciate the Raptor Freak family. And y'all have a great week. We'll have Tuesday trivia, the regular Tuesday trivia tomorrow. So be ready. Competitors that are at the top, be ready to compete. Only a couple more games. We are be deciding this championship very soon. And I know Fiercey and Amit both have eyes on trying to win. So come with your best game tomorrow and don't be late. Seriously, this is going to be a big one tomorrow. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And let's go Raptors. Let's go WNBA Raptors and Team Canada. Let's go WNBA Toronto team. Let's go Kilmer Group. Let's go Teresa Resch. Let's go Monique Lawrence. Let's go